Does it bother anyone else that in the music video for the song You Belong With Me, Taylor doesn't get the guy until she takes off her glasses and changes virtually everything about herself? I don't know, man. What kind of lesson is that? And if it sounds like that has nothing to do with the series, don't worry. This episode has nothing to do with the series, so we're still good. Okay, well, it doesn't actually have nothing to do with the series, but in terms of not much happening, really not much happens in this episode. Like, I think the whole episode in the, story timeline is probably an hour of their lives. Just an hour. Maybe an hour and a half, but I doubt it. It's basically just Hannah convincing Ethan to spend the night at an inn because, like the previous episodes have shown, he's kind of losing himself. He's becoming more and more animalistic and focused on his one mission of killing the dragon. That's his one goal in life now. So he's not eating properly. He's not sleeping properly. And Hannah convinces him to stay at an inn because she's like, hey, dude, you can't fight a dragon if you can barely stand. To which he's like, I guess if it's for the sake of dragons, I'll do it. He kind of reminds me of Goblin Slayer, where he just has this one track mind of killing this one monster, and that's all he thinks about ever. But whatever. They go to this inn, right? And then Ethan lays down above the covers like a maniac, by the way. Who does that? I don't know. But okay, that was honestly the craziest part of this episode, that he just took all of his clothing off in 2 seconds, but whatever. And he lays down above the covers, which is crazy, but okay. Hannah goes to get food, and the guy, the cook, owner of the inn, whoever he is like, whoa, you guys probably shouldn't stay long because a lot of men have been dying in their sleep, and we don't know why. And you don't know why? What are you talking about, guy? This is your inn, right? This is your, you at least work here. You're the cook. Why haven't you investigated this phenomenon? Why haven't you investigated that people are just dying in the middle of the night? At least have some plants or something. I don't know. Or maybe have this policy where people aren't allowed to be alone anymore. It just seemed crazy to me that they would still operate and just not tell people about it. And he knowingly misled people because he was like, yeah, but don't tell anyone because that's bad for business. Well, of course it's bad for business. People are dying. What are you doing? I don't know. I'm ranting on this small thing because nothing else really happens in this episode. This episode is 50% flashback because the succubus from the last episode that was teased shows up here, and she takes the form of Olivia, Ethan's dead wife, and then that activates a flashback. And a very weird flashback at that, because honestly, they go to the flashback, and it starts with these kids talking. How does Ethan know what these random kids were talking about that random day? How does he have that perspective? Flashbacks are supposed to be from the point of view of the person having the flashback, right? I'm not insane. I don't know. But even the flashback itself was just not that important. It was the Olivia professing her love to Ethan on some wacky charge of I've just always loved you and there's no reason for it. I know you're a paranoid loner shut-in who's afraid of water, but I love you anyways, even though we haven't spoken in years. Does it sound like that doesn't make sense? It didn't make sense to me. I don't know how close they were as friends. I don't know how much in love they were as children, but that was crazy to me. That honestly though, Ethan has a surprising amount of women throwing themselves at him. And I'm not saying he's an ugly dude or anything. I don't get it. It's 2 in this episode. The succubus counts. I'm sorry. But okay, flashback is over. They come back to the present time. The succubus is trying to seduce them. And I'm sitting there just watching this and thinking, where's Hannah during all this? He had enough time for a whole flashback, and Hannah didn't come back in time to stop him from sleeping with the succubus. He doesn't actually sleep with her. They almost get there, but then he realizes, oh yeah, right. My wife literally died in my hands. I would know that she's dead. And yeah, he just chokes her out. And honestly, the succubus is like, why? Because you took the form of his dead wife. What did you think was going to happen? I don't know. It was a bit fun, but it didn't have any real bearing over the course of the plot. At least I don't think so. This episode was pretty slow. It's the calm before the storm. It's the second to last episode. So I'm assuming they wanted just a beat to pause and catch your breath. And then the next one will be crazy. They're fighting the dragon, presumably. I don't know. But yeah, guys, this episode was kind of weird in that, like, nothing really happened. Hannah gets there eventually, and Ethan's like, stay out of this. I want to kill her myself. And then after he does, he's like, all right, let's go. And honestly, I'm on Ethan's side at that point. So much for a good night's rest. Like, he tried it her way. He tried to sleep, and he was attacked by a succubus that forced him to literally choke his wife to death. I would not sleep the rest of the night either way. Even if she had convinced him to stay there, he would not have rested. So, okay, just get out of there. Yeah, go fight the dragon. Only other thing that was a bit odd in this episode that I'll bring up is that they cut to the castle that the dragon lives in. It's like a castle up in the mountains. That's where they're headed. How does the dragon get in and out of that castle? The doors are nowhere near big enough. Maybe it's a perspective thing and it's actually a massive castle, but the doors do not appear nowhere near big enough for the dragon to get in there. Unless he's a shapeshifter too, but I doubt that's the case. I don't know. Maybe he's been like in the show the whole time and just been background characters. I don't really think that's the case, but if he's a shapeshifter, maybe that is the case. I don't know. I'm just reaching now because I'm trying to rationalize how a dragon could get into a castle that small. But whatever. I'm rambling now. Thanks for watching, guys, if you did. That's all I have to say on this episode because not much really happened. You're welcome to like and subscribe if you want. You don't have to. I'm not going to make you. How am I going to know? Have a good day, guys. Be safe. And remember, if you're ever getting seduced by a succubus and she takes the form of your dead wife, it's probably a safe bet to assume that's not actually your dead wife. Have a good night, guys. Be safe. And yeah.